Let's go!
So I saw some impressions of mine roaming around of what people were saying and what I was talking about, what we were saying and all of this stuff. And I kind of don't want to just bandwagon on parts of the game not feeling great and stuff like that, because I think there is a lot of parts of the game that are much better. So I'm hoping we can get some good examples of this. My impressions from some of my sessions weren't obviously great, because I've used this joke a couple of times where it feels like we're in 2XKO season 3 or season 2. And it's like, oh no, dude, the game's actually not out. Like, there was one beta like 7 months ago or something like that. And now this one, like, I'm sorry, alpha, and then this other alpha now. And just seeing the level of which people are like playing the game kind of blows my mind. I'm like, where are you guys getting all this playtime from? Like, what's going on? And then I realized that might just be a me thing, because 2XKO just hasn't clicked with me yet. But, and I did have a criticism and also an observation. In Alpha 2, I actually think the game was better, but it had mechanical issues. And don't get me wrong, yeah, mechanical issues aside, I think the way the game is being played is definitely worse. There's some really funky things, and I was playing against people that kind of made me realize, I'm like, I wonder if this is how the game is played. And I have some minor grievances, but at the same point, I think it plays better. And there's a really good reason. You need to go back and directly compare the footage from Alpha 1 to Alpha 2. My dude, the game feels so much better. I don't know exactly what it is, and I think they described about this, like the speed of attacks, the hit stun of attacks, that changed significantly. And to be real, that did not feel good. In the early versions of the game, in the version that we played back in 2024, my dude, connecting attacks and attacks just felt like at times weirdly slow, and it didn't really feel like I was hitting the opponent. That's fixed now. Game feel is a lot better. Like, no kidding, the speed of combos is way better. Everything that they did there is a step in 100% the right direction, which is why most of my criticism or most of my observations are in that regard, where this game's not out, right? I'm not here to look for the meta. I'm here to make observations of how does this shit feel? Like, how does this game feel to play? And in my opinion, it didn't feel particularly great in Alpha 1, but it feels a lot better now. But now that that's sort of out of the way, there are clearly so many things that are like kind of odd about this. And yeah, many times a lot of my matches are ending in timeout. Granted, I am not doing damage. None of my combos are necessarily good, and that is going to boil down to a huge game-wide problem across the board. But most matches, even competitively, like, oh, there was some oddball goofness happening here. To me, it didn't feel like they needed to change the game this much, because some of the observations that even I was making was that there needed to be more moments, and they did that. The parry is great. Turning supers into big moments with like the backgrounds, like, it's not ideal, but it's something. To me, those are absolutely improvements. Many of those elements do make the game look better, more enjoyable to watch. In version 1, it really felt like you're going to get to your mix and you're going to have a good time with it. And the game almost like encourages that, even though it's a little funny that, like, I feel like most fighting games aren't inherently designed for dirt. It's kind of an interesting observation where like the dirt is usually found in most fighting games. And this one is like, it's a part of the, you know, front and center marketing, is that you characters, everything, there's dirt everywhere, dude. Go dig it up and rub it in your face and then rub it in their face and go crazy. It's interesting. So it feels like so many people get to that dirt as quick as possible. And I'm here like lagging behind, making tweets like this. Is this like one of the first fighting games that I can't keep up with? I love Marvel and I love fast ass fighting games, but my old ass cannot keep up with this 2XKO shit. And there's a reason for that. I'm hitting the wrong buttons. I have played this game in like 3 different sessions. I've played it about 10 hours over this past 2 years. A reminder, this game isn't out yet. So how am I actually supposed to get hands-on time with the game? How am I supposed to get hands-on time with a game that's not out? So I played it in like an early version, and then I played a little bit of Alpha 1, and then I played a little bit of Alpha 2. Never in the existence of my time with 2XKO has the game clicked with me yet. Like, no kidding. It's the only fighting game that this has never happened for me, because every time I've jumped into it and tried to play it, I'm hitting the wrong buttons. And I've tried changing button layouts. I've tried doing stuff about it. I think ultimately speaking, the thing that will and has consistently messed me up is that I'm going to press S2 and my ass is pressing tag. I can't help it, dude. So when I'm playing this game against people that are like obviously crazy at it, like insanely good at it, and the button layout is not an issue for them, I am constantly lagging behind, and it's very frustrating of like, I'm getting my hits and I just don't know what to do with them because my brain cannot wrap my head around 2 specials. So I haven't even had a chance to like sit down and have a character that really resonates with me where I want to commit the time to doing that. And that is ultimately what things sort of boil down to. There's no character in there for me yet. I like Jinx. I had fun with her, but it's very weird that that character is so hard countered by many things in the game. And then she's also good in some ways against other characters, but my God, man, like it's crazy to me that like some characters just can knock away, if not wind wall, all of her offense. We saw this happen in tournament. Diaphone was using Jinx, right?
Are we dying?
I need to stop playing because
what's happening?
There's multiple rounds, right? There's multiple rounds, and this is a set, right? This is actually like a set. Because there's multiple rounds, your meter's going to carry over into the next round, and Jinx just stands no chance against like some of these characters in some ways. So it's like, all right, that character is so hard countered that you just give up because I don't want to give you meter. Arguing there's no point in fighting. There's no reason to engage. Just kill me. That's a little weird, you know? And that ultimately boils down to some of the criticisms that I had at the start. We're in here fighting with these dudes for a really long time, like avoiding all this mix and doing all this crazy shit for a really long time. Already like the multi-round 2-character like fighting game. It's not a Tekken tag where you can kill one character and that's it, or a Street Fighter Cross Tekken where you can kill one character and that's it. This is not that. Like no matter what, you're fighting 2 characters. So it's like, dude, I'm in here fighting these dudes for a long time. I'd say what I started to notice the most, I think I hate the movement. Right? I think I hate the movement. Like, no kidding. Attacking characters and having them just like completely looks like they're playing Warzone or some shit, dodging and moving backwards, where it's like, all right, so the movement's not hard to do. You literally mash one button in either direction. Seeing like large characters, Braum and let's say Alawi, move backwards that fast in and out of neutral is crazy. It's crazy to me to see large, heavy hitters just moving and weaving in and out, and you're just swinging and hitting nothing, and it's like, my God, dude, like there's so much quote unquote neutral happening here, but there's not much like elegance to it because it's just one button and we're just mashing it out. It's a lot different than like a Marvel situation, which takes, you could screw it up, you know, you can actually mess it up. It's impossible to mess this up. Characters are just, it's like Smash. No, dude, Smash movement is tough. Like, I don't know how tough it is in Smash Ultimate, but moving around like that in Smash Brothers takes time. Every single person I'm fighting, dashing in, moving out, dashing. I'm like, this is exhausting. And I think that's my conclusion at the end of this beta. Characters and the abilities for them to move backwards that much is like, yeesh, man. It's a lot. It makes the game feel very exhausting. Did they really confirm nerfing back movement and gray health regen? That's wonderful, because I got like destroyed in this beta because I could not really find people that were in my skill level or people that were like messing around. And also I just wanted to fight somebody that's good to see how the game is at like high level. And I'm like, oh man, yeah, you kind of just like, they get a hit on you and they run away. They can run away, and unless you have the ability to like close that gap and really apply pressure, there's no reason for him to engage me. It feels like defense is insane right now. So I think they get that, you know. I think a lot of these things are understood. My problem is that like it was like another beta for the game, and the game can be a lot of fun when you eventually get to the really fun, you know, crazy setups and stuff. My ass is just nowhere close to it because I'm pressing the wrong buttons. That's like always going to be my issue. I don't have a character and I'm pressing tag instead of S2. And I mix those around and I'm still screwing it up, dude. Again, after playing this and a third time of trying the game and all this stuff and hoping it gets better. And I know it's going to get better. I don't want to be too critical because we're obviously in beta still, alphas, and the game is going to come out eventually. And I know the devs are working super hard and taking a lot of feedback, but it feels like the game is going in a lot of directions. And I just have to say this, I don't feel like the game needs to be for me. I don't feel like the game needs to be for everyone. And it feels like it's trying to do that with all of these grooves and stuff like that. Just a complete cornucopia of mechanics and things. And I don't even understand like what I'm fighting against with somebody using something that's like not handshake or DHC, like all the other things. Double assist is, I don't know what to do about double assist, man. There just wasn't a really big motivation for me to jump in and then do my grime to them. I didn't really feel like I wanted to jump that gap yet, mostly because of character stuff, you know? To me personally, I actually kind of want them to stop taking feedback. I think maybe too much feedback is having an impact on the game where they can release this bitch and have it come out, and no kidding, they can just like make adjustments from that point forward and not make wild adjustments, because to be real, this is a different game than what was being played in the first beta. And compared to the first beta, I yes, dude, no kidding, I think that it is more fun. I think the game feels better to play, like straight up. But going back to watch the first beta, I understand that, because everything's weirdly slow and like funky on hit, and it's like they fixed that. They legit fixed my biggest criticism, is that the game feels weird. Like it just feels sort of off. I think the game feel is way better now, which is why my impressions of this beta are much higher. It's mechanically weird now. You know, so many things of the game do not really function the same, and it's hard to hit people. It's hard to chase people, like all of this shit. What I hope they do, personally speaking, I want them to stick to a vision. If this game is just designed to be like degenerate, if they're really like leaning on it being degenerate, then you can add things like moments and stuff like that and let people rock. If this is going to be like the hardcore game for hardcore players, which it feels like it was designed for at the beginning, I want it to stay that way. If it means that I don't resonate with it and it doesn't eventually grab me because of the control scheme, then that's fine, dude. I'm gonna jump in and play characters and hopefully have one that clicks with me. But I personally, like, it kind of feels like from a surface level of what's going on that there's just so many like changes, you know, and what we're seeing in the game right now is just so different than what was even 7 months ago. So I want to give them credit, because I've seen these guys make games, and those games have been, in my opinion, kind of like haphazardly designed in some ways, like Power Rangers for some reason. But Power Rangers dedicated to its vision, man. And to me, it made sense. Like, it was like, oh, okay. It didn't feel like it specifically catered towards one side of an audience or another. It was like a fairly simple, easy to play game that was just dirty as hell. I kind of want them just to stick with it. I kind of don't want to like hope the game turns into something completely different again, you know, and do this completely different thing again. I'm actually hoping the best, that they just have their audience, because people really, really seem to like that first beta, and I could see why, but to me, it just felt weird. Game felt off. And now they've fixed that, but so many mechanical things have changed that it's like, woof, dude. I'm looking forward to it just coming out. I think that's where I'm at now, dude. I'm curious to see how people are going to play the next like alpha. I'm curious to see what eventually happens in different builds in different ways and see how it goes. But I'm just going to wait to see what the full roster is. There's like 3 more characters. I'm hoping one of them is neat. And, you know, I'm just going to wait till that happens to eventually just smash my face against an arcade stick and then hard learn these buttons. Like, I'll need to play this shit for 3 days straight, dude, to eventually wrap my head around the control scheme. And I don't think that should change. I don't think that should cater towards me either. People are there, you know, people are there doing that shit. And they've already made several changes that I think I'm very happy about in this season. I think some of the moments are way better, and I think the game feels way better. And it's just hoping that everything else sort of lines up when another alpha, another beta does come out.